Did you know the food you throw away costs you more than $1,300 a year? And that food waste takes up more landfill than anything else? Maybe your leftovers sit forgotten in the fridge, seem unappealing the next day, or you don't want a rerun. I'm here to help. I'm Diane Watson, the leftover chef, and I'll show you how to quickly transform your leftovers into new and delicious dishes. Let's get cooking. Hi everybody, and welcome to Leftover Chef. I'm Diane Watson. Thank you for being here. Today in episode 1, we are going to be using a half of a leftover cheeseburger. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm just not in the mood to eat a whole burger, and there's lots of other things you can do besides just reheating it. What we're gonna make today is called a scrambled joe. Here's what you need. 2 eggs, a little milk to scramble the eggs, fresh spinach, shredded Swiss cheese, and a half a burger. You know something interesting about burgers? They are the most popular sandwich in the American diet. There are 50 billion burgers consumed every year, which means every person, on average, eats 3 a week. Wow. Let me tell you about this burger. I ordered this burger last night at Spencer's here in Omaha. One of the best absolute burgers in town. It's got an excellent combination of really high quality meat, and the bun and the cheese and the condiments are fantastic. And let me tell you why this burger is in plastic. I believe that everything is suited better to store when it's wrapped tightly without a lot of oxygen. You can say that about cheese, and you can definitely say that about any kind of bread product. In fact, I have a friend who laughs every time I have a sandwich because it's always wrapped tightly in plastic and not in a Ziploc bag, because oxygen is not bread's friend. So this is gonna keep it extra fresh. So the scrambled joe that we're gonna make today was originated in San Francisco in a restaurant in the Tenderloin. I lived in San Francisco for many years. Never had the scrambled joe at the original restaurant, but I had it at restaurants all over town. And the scrambled joe is basically scrambled eggs with spinach and ground beef. Now I know I told you this one includes Swiss cheese. I will say that's an addition of my own. I think Swiss cheese, any kind of cheese, is always great on eggs. So what we're gonna do first is dice this burger. Now you'll notice there's a bun and cheese, so I'm gonna separate the bun from the cheese. And one thing to know, when I know I'm gonna take a half a burger home, I always order the condiments and the garden, any kind of tomato or lettuce on the side. Because once you put condiments on a bun, it's kind of ruined for leftovers, and the garden really doesn't do that great either. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut this bun off, because in episode 2, I'm gonna tell you what to do with this bun. And I'm gonna remove this bacon and cheese, because in episode 3, I'm gonna tell you what to do with this leftover cheese and bacon. So I'm gonna put those to the side. So first, I'm just gonna dice up this burger. This burger was cooked medium, so that's gonna be perfect for a reheat. You don't really have to reheat it anywhere before we put it in the skillet with the eggs, because it's gonna be nice and warm just by virtue of the hot pan and the hot eggs. So we'll get that diced up. I'm gonna get my skillet going here. We'll put that aside. Now, fresh spinach in this, you can dice the spinach, but you don't have to. I'm gonna dice it up just a little bit. And I will tell you that if you ever have fresh spinach in your refrigerator that's kind of looking a little dicey, like maybe it's a little wilty or it's starting to get a little damp, you can still use it in a hot dish. It's perfectly good for cooking. And I would take a paper towel and just drain it a little bit on that paper towel, get the excess moisture off. It's gonna be totally fine when you cook it. Now we're gonna whisk our eggs. I have 2 large eggs here. I'm gonna add just about a tablespoon of milk, maybe a little bit more. You can use a whisk on these eggs, or you can use a fork. Just get it scrambled up a little bit for scrambled eggs. I like to put my salt and pepper right in the eggs when I'm getting ready to scramble them. This is kind of a handy salt and pepper grinder that is electric, so you don't have to have 2 hands. And then for the scrambled eggs, I'm just gonna put a little pan or cooking spray in my pan. You can use butter if you like. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So we'll get the scrambled eggs going. One thing that I learned that really surprised me is that 40% of all US food is wasted, thrown away into landfills. That's a lot of wasted food. And it's kind of hard to believe that alongside the statistic that 1 in 6 Americans is food insecure. Wow. We've got these scrambled eggs starting to come together, so I'm gonna put the hamburger in there. This pan and the eggs will heat it up nicely. That looks really good. It's smelling really good. One of the things that I read about the history of scrambled joes is that you can add traditionally garlic or garlic powder or mushrooms. Those are pretty traditional in the dish. The Swiss cheese again is not. That's my addition. So we'll let these eggs sit for a sec, start to come together a little bit. You don't want that spinach in there for too long because you want to get it just to the point where it starts to warm and get wilty. And who knew about hamburger for breakfast, right? But why not? All right, we're gonna throw our spinach in here. The thing I love about spinach is it's so huge when it's fresh, and then once it gets hot, it gets so small. Oh, that smells really good. And I don't like to put the cheese on too soon. Once everything gets to come together and the eggs are pretty close. Oh, that green is so bright and smells delicious. Oh, this smells so good. All right, we are ready to plate it. We added salt and pepper when we got the eggs scrambled, or we got the eggs whisked, but we'll see if that needs a little bit more. I think it's always important to season your food when you are cooking it, and then check it again and season it after. Now remember, you could serve this with garlic toast, or over a bed of rice would be really good too. So here we are, half of a burger into a scrambled joe. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. Thank you for joining me on Leftover Chef. Remember, helping you love your leftovers will save money and help save the planet. See you next time.